Hello everyone, my name is Mark and welcome back to another SH Figuarts review. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Pavitr Pavakra from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This is Spider-Man India, pretty much how they refer to him, of course. Spider-Man India, as you can see in the title, or the box as well, even on the box on the side. Ooh, I didn't know that was like kind of embossed. There's a little bit of texture on the text, that's really nice. So I got this one alongside Spider-Punk, so I am only really missing the new ones that are coming out soon, and also Gwen and Miles, which I will be getting later this year, at least the reissues. So without further ado, let's take this guy out and see how he looks. Alright, so here we have Pavitr with... Honestly, he looks really nice, just as a first glance. I really like the way that he looks. Now, I did commend Spider-Punk for having a lot of detail throughout its body, and this is no exception. This one has a lot of intricate little tiny details throughout the entire body. For sure, a lot more than the Marvel Legends, so we are at least have that. He has the nice golden spider on the back with the white inside of it, and also the front, with a little bit of kind of like an extension on here. The arms do have its detail. It is not only painted, but it also is sculpted into the arm, which is really good. The arms are actually, or at least the shoulders, are sculpted as well. They are sculpted to the touch. Same with the mask. Very nicely done with this figure already, and even the feet, the toes are sculpted. Very nice. The bracelets as well are also sculpted, which is again an amazing addition. So overall, just aesthetic wise, this guy looks amazing. He does have a lot of good looking pieces, and the gold actually looks gold, and there is no other type of material that stands out. The pants are a little bit different than the actual suit itself. It does look slightly different, so it actually looks pretty decent, and it doesn't like take away from the gold. There's no other shiny plastic anywhere where it will strike against the gold, which is really good. That is something that I really like. I like that they did that. So when it comes to the articulation for this guy, he actually does have some pretty good articulation, and I'm glad that he does. He is a Spider-Man after all. So when it comes to looking down, he can look down pretty far, which is really good. The one thing about it, I didn't mention it earlier, but he does have a longer neck than he necessarily actually does in the movie, which is not the biggest issue. I think when you actually pose him around, it's not going to look as uncanny, but just standing upright, it looks like he just has a longer neck than he needs to. And mine does have a little bit of a stain on the shoulder, but that's fine. Looking up, he actually looks up almost straight. Holy crap, this is probably the best looking up figure I have in my possession. And even the sculpt goes all the way in. I really like the way that they did this. Look at how much space that peg has to move around. That's absolutely insane. That's a lot of space, and the peg is not short. It can actually move all the way through the figure, or through the hole. And even the head sculpt, it's very spacious. It has a lot of space to move around, so nothing clashes, and you can actually get a pretty good range of motion with this figure. The neck also helps with that too. He can get pretty good T-posing, a little bit higher than a T-pose, for sure. He can get his arms crossing, which is really good. That's always good for a Spider-Man. The butterfly joints are probably the ugliest thing out of this figure, because there's such a big gap in between the actual figure in itself and pretty much everything else. Let me see if I can... Better. Oh my god, that's so much better. So there's a lot of a gap. There's a big gap in between it, and it just kind of looks weird. I'm just glad that it's not a floating piece, so that's definitely a plus for this figure. So that's very nice. You can rotate the arms 360 degrees. You have a bicep swivel, which is very nicely hidden. A double jointed elbow, which is really good looking. Actually, it looks really nice. It blends in perfectly with the actual material of the suit. And a range hist. And it actually has a lot of movement going back and forth. Very nice. Torso. he actually has some pretty good articulation. Here we have the trademarking right here. But look at that. He can go all the way forward. That's really good. And backwards, he's no slouch either. Not the greatest, but it's like still good. For the legs, he does have the sort of like loose piece legs. Well, let me see. Wait, did I loosen him? No, he's fine. Mostly because he is supposed to kind of be hidden with the actual belt or sash that he has. So kicking forward, pretty standard 90 degrees. I wish he had a little bit of better motion with that. Kicking backwards, pretty much a little bit better than 90 degrees as well. Splits are pretty good, actually. Very good done, very well done over here. We got a thigh swivel, and we have a double jointed knee, and a really good foot hinge. Going forward this far, going backwards this far, and a toe hinge that looks okay. It definitely does a lot more. So some poses might look a little weird if you have the toe hinge just moving a lot, but he looks really good overall. Is there anything that I'm missing in terms of articulation? I don't think so. This guy is very well articulated and definitely one of the best Spider-Man figures I've had the pleasure of holding, especially with it not looking super odd with like the cuts and everything throughout the sculpt. So he looks really good. So let's take a look at his accessories to see if this guy is worth it in the end. Alright, so this guy is completely jam-packed with accessories, which is a really good thing. I really like it. I think that's what makes the figure worth it. Not gonna lie, I think he was already worth it because of the articulation and just the aesthetic itself. But to start us off, we have two different types of limbs, or two separate limbs that you can swap out. We have one where he has his bracelet off, and you can just attach the arm and use the bracelet for the different webs. They pretty much attach to the ends of each of the webs, as you can see right in the middle. You'll probably see it throughout some of the pictures at the very end, so do not fret. So we have that piece right there. We have the actual head sculpt, which is really nice. I think this looks fantastic. This is probably one of the more accurate head sculpts they've done in terms of just animated anything. Really, it looks fantastic. It's phenomenal. We do have two separate eyes that you can swap out with the figure. More so of a squinted look, which is really good. Always nice to have those. Now, pairs of hands. We have two pointing fingers, two web grasping hands, of course, with the thumbs up, two fisting hands. Sorry, no. Two close-fisted hands to hold the webs. We have two sort of like grasping hands, I'm guessing, where, I don't know. This is a weird one, for sure. I don't know. I'll try to come up with some good poses, but it's kind of like a karate chop hand, but then we also have an actual karate chop hand, so I'm not entirely sure. And of course, we have the wall crawlers. He doesn't have thwippers because he doesn't thwip, he swings around with it. So there is that. With the webs, we have a regular stringing web, of course, a very appealing, like jagged, angular web, which is really good. We have the web that he uses to sort of like spin around his little thing, and another one where it's just longer. So this is a good amount of accessories, I think. Definitely, I think it's more, if not equal to the amount of Spider-Punk. Again, Spider-Punk was definitely missing the webs, so he does have the advantage to this. So yeah, overall, this figure is absolutely fantastic. Definitely well worth it, especially if you're trying to build your own little Spider-Verse collection. So starting out with Pavitr, yes, Pavitr, and Hobie Brown. That is not a bad thing. So you can also get the Miles and Gwen coming out later this year, and hopefully they get Miguel gets a reissue. We're also getting Noir, and we're also getting Peter B. Parker. So I'm very excited about all of these figures coming out. There's definitely going to be a lot more Spider-Verse videos in the future. So this is technically my final thoughts. You probably already are seeing a lot of pictures already. So overall, I'm going to give this figure a 9 out of 10. The only reason I'm putting down a point I'm taking a point, is because the price is a little bit too high. I do think that he does have a lot of really good accessories. I just think the price is a bit too high, especially for US retail price. But it's definitely completely worth it if you're able to catch it for a lower price, especially for some Japanese retail sites. You should definitely go ahead and get it. So yeah, that's pretty much all the time I have for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think about this figure, because I absolutely adore it. And I think a 9 is a fitting number for this guy. But besides that, I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.